my goodness, wow. Great, is it afternoon yet? Yes. I never know what time or day it is. Forget it. So I've been asked a question. Hello, Lady G. Could you please do a series of videos teaching tarot techniques? How do you do it? How to do a pendulum? And how to do channeling? Much love. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I can put together a short thing, but it's, I'm not going to teach, you know, what each of the cards means. So I'm just going to do a real quick thing here today. May. Yes, loving. I know, loving. I know. Yes, loving. Okay, but you can't sit here because I'm doing this right now. You have to sit, stay. No, sit, stay. Good girl. So when I do my tarot, you know, it's different than what a lot of readers are doing. Because I'm using 2 decks, 3 decks, 4 decks. And the reason I do that because each one gives another layer of information. Okay? So, like, I just put the cards out because I'm being asked to do tarot. How to read it, what to do. And so the first thing I got out, first layer, is, we'll show you how this works. Above it, I got a message. Okay. Now these cards are the Gypsy, what are they called? Gypsy Fortunes. Gypsy Fortunes. But with that, it's saying, I got a message. Now, underneath of that, I'm using the Kipper, and it says it's a high honor. So it's a high honor that I got this message, and what it is shedding light. Okay, this is the tarot. Shedding light, and the key to this, and this is the, what do they call it? Gypsy Witch cards. The key to this is charging forward, okay, to give the information. So as you can see, each one of these, now if I just went with the first layer, it would be shedding light, being asked to do the tarot, shedding light, because going into it, we have someone being tied up, mentally tied up. Now, if I wanted to read the whole of it, I would look at the Kipper, which says in poverty. So somebody that doesn't know, they have a lack. Poverty can be a lack, okay, and feeling tied up. So above it, they want a marriage. They want this help. They want the strength, okay, a mental strength, an aptitude to be able to give the right speculation or the right ability to read. So as you can see, each one of these gives a different layer. So if I just went by the tarot, it would be asking for light to be shed because they're feeling tied up. The swords is mentally. Being tied up mentally. The challenge is, we're just going to do the tarot, is strong action, being confident in your action. To come, the clarification is rapidly, okay, or rapid, okay? Because if I wanted to do the next layer, they're feeling imprisoned. In other words, you're feeling kind of locked up, not really confident in that, where you live, you know, how to give it. So you feel like you can't, the challenge is feeling blocked. You could say imprisoned is like being blocked, energy being blocked. So you have to use your intuition. Is good luck, is to use your emotions and intuition. That's the challenge. Get beyond the blockage to use your intuition. Okay, and the clarification, this is for something long-term or to be resurrected, lilies, okay, to have a rapid message, okay, have a rapid message that one struggles with so it can become healthy. So in other words, the clarification is learning how to use your intuition when you're struggling with your message, okay? How to do this long term, okay? So anyway, that's the very first thing. With it, you have to find what works for you. What type of a layout you want to do. Like I do the layout, usually it's, I'll start out with the past, present, what the reading's about, the center of it, and then the challenge, and then a clarification for it. But there are so many styles of reading, okay, that one can do. And again, you could do you want to do just tarot, or do you want to do a combination of cards? And like I said, some people, now most people just use the one layer. They just use the tarot and then feed off of that. Now, the tarot is, a lot of people will learn specific, like, what's her name? Ellie Down Under. If you watch her read, she's been taught specific meanings for each card, okay? That's the way the way that she was taught, the way she learned. Now, the way that I do it is more intuitive. I don't go by specific meanings. So when you're doing your card, every reader is different. And what I did with these, again, you know, I took the top and the bottom off. I took like this is the sun. I know this is the sun card, okay? But the way I do it is reading the images. How does it feel? This time it may feel something light. It could feel something, you know, you have to go by the feeling. For me, it's about the feeling of the card and then putting it together. Like the swords are mental realm, the cups are emotions, the wands are energy, and the pentacles can be money or can be more things in your transient world of relativity. Okay, the how do I want to say it? The daily particulars, let's put it that way. Daily stuff that you're encountering. Okay? So, you know, what is it that you want to learn with this? Because, like I said, the way that I read is different than the way other people read. I think the most important thing is to say, spend time, find a deck that works for you. Now, I use a lot of different decks, you know. One time I may be using this deck. Another time I may go for the Byzantine deck. It's got a different feel to it. Or I'll go for the regular basically basics of the Rider-Waite type. This one is not Rider-Waite, but it's a takeoff on Rider-Waite. The symbology may be easier to read. So you find out what works for you, what symbology is easier for you to read. And like if I went to here, like this card in the gypsy thing, now what they see as lilies is something vastly different than what I see, okay? For me, lilies can sometimes mean a resurrection, has to do with Easter. It also, for me, represents funerals, okay? That's just me. It's a thing I have with lilies. They don't really have a scent. They're not fragrant. They're, something that you see with funerals a lot. And so that's the iconography that I get from it. So, it's about spending time with it. If you're doing intuitive reading, which is more what I do, you can have a basic, maybe understanding of some of the cards. But if you're in intuitive reading, you go by what that card represents to you. Okay? So that's the basic thing I can give you on doing the readings. This is a starting point on it. Whether you're using Kipper or you're doing the gypsy or the other gypsy, the gypsy witch, or you're doing your regular tarot. Okay. Now, what a card can mean to you in one time, maybe you're reading something else and you feel a whole different meaning to it. The energy of the other surrounding cards can maybe change the way you feel about it. Okay? That happens as well. So, I've never been one to get a deck and just sit there and read what it means for the maker of the deck. Okay? Now, if you're just starting out, you may want to go through and see what basic meanings are behind it. Or, like I said, you can go by intuitive. Now, if I'm doing Rider-Waite, the regular Rider-Waite, and I don't have a deck here. What happened to my Rider-Waites? Oh, I think they're all in the other room. Okay. I go sometimes by the color of it. It means conscious, subconscious, mental, action, these different things that I will incorporate sometimes into a reading when I'm using the Rider-Waite. But I don't do it really with other card systems. It just seems to, that I know that system and I put those together. But yeah, the main thing I can say is spending time finding a deck that moves you and spending the time with the cards and see what it feels like for you, because you are the one that has to interpret the cards. And the cards, the tarot, is basically keying you into your intuitive things, okay? So that's the basics that I can tell you about that. Now, if you have specific things that you wanted to know on it, let me know. But it's sitting with it. How does that card make you feel? What does it mean to you specifically? Like I said, I have a vastly different idea when it comes to lilies than most authors have, that they're telling you what it means. Okay? So you have to go for something that makes sense to you. Like for me, the house, this could mean the White House in this specific deck. It could mean your physical form. It could be your living situation. It could be a structure, okay? Depending on what you're reading. You could have various interpretations of it. So it's being creative as well with your cards in picking up the energy of it. And the energy, if you're doing multiple cards together, then it's picking up the whole of the thing, like a sentence, like a concept, a whole concept. You read the cards together like one concept, okay? Now, if you're just doing the tarot, this could be, walking away, emotionally walking away, or turning your back on emotions and striking out, or being willing to challenge in the dark, okay? Being willing to challenge. So you could have a lot of various things that you could pick up from that. Now in this deck, it's interesting that the Death card has a different feeling than it does in a lot of other decks. We've got is this a sunset? Sunset of time coming to a close, a transition, a change, okay? So again, each deck has a different feeling to it. And you may pick up a totally different meaning for things in one deck versus another. So pick something that speaks to you and spend time with it. Like I said, something that I do is I'll watch a crime show, or I'll watch, something that's reality-based, and you pull the cards, and you see how it relates to the show. And that's another way to learn to read the cards, to see how that energy is playing out, and that you see the images, how those images are relating to what is going on. So that's something that I have been enjoying doing, just to update my skills and my ability to read them and pick up energies and different ways to communicate with it. So you're asking about pendulum. Pendulum, you have to hold it and you find out which way it moves for you, because the way a pendulum moves for me may be different than you. So I'm just going to take this necklace, whatever moves will work. And so I'm going to ask which way for me is yes. And yes for me is moving this way. Which way for me is no? No moves this way. And then so if it's something that's positive, it will move in a clockwise circle for me. If it's something that's negative, it moves in a counterclockwise motion. And then it skews, it can skew. So again, it's just working with the pendulum and asking the questions and seeing which way, because some people, the energy moves the opposite way for them. So it's just working with it. And then you can get, is this something spiritually positive? It'll go this way. If it's something that's negative, it goes the other way. If it's kind of skewed to the negativity, it'll kind of go in a skewed fashion. It's kind of skewed to positive, but maybe not all the way there. Okay, so again, it's something you work with, and you just continue to develop it. Now, as far as channeling, channeling requires you to get out of the way, basically. Being able to connect and then get yourself out of the way. Now, a lot of people will try to channel, but they get the ego center in the way, and then basically they're just rattling off what they think is higher, but it's skewed according to their belief systems and dramas. Okay, so channeling's a little more in depth. One has to be able to connect with the higher, and then get the rational mind out of the way. So anyway, hopefully that's helped, and let me know if there are specifics that you want to know with this. Thank you for your question, and see you online.